Yo, what is up, everybody? Today we're going to be coming at you with a video about finance, how to save some damn money, and not blow that shit all the time. So first, I just wanted to get off on the first mindset you need to have is stop chasing fast money and start chasing long money. Stop just trying to gamble and bet and get that quick hit, and you're never really growing wealth that way because you're going to spend it and blow it on stupid shit by the time you get the next win. You're kind of always at a net loss, which is just horrible for your finances, and mind you, that's just on other things. You still got rent and gas and groceries and health and bills and electricity and water. I mean, dude, life comes at you fast. So quick money schemes, all that stuff, it's thrilling, and you have the chase and the excitement and the build-up, but they're not profitable. If you want to build real wealth, it's going to be patience and, strategically placing your money in savings and CDs and the Roth IRA, investing in your, setting up a brokerage. So I use Charles Schwab, but get something that every single month on your paycheck, you throw 10% of your earnings in. Basically done deal. Just act like it was never there. Because with long-term growth and not gambling, you are betting on time to compound your money, and time is always correct. It's always moving forward. You can't stop it, and everything will grow over that time. So for example, I think the stock market's average is like 10% annually you'll get on your investments. With inflation in the economy right now, it's not super consistent, but that's why you choose long-term growth, because you just put money in, set it, forget it, until you're 50 and 60. I'm in my 20s and I've already started, and the thing with the S&P 500, I think they've read almost like 100% gains over 10-year periods, so 30-year periods, that's quite a bit of growth, and that's with the current outlook. Who knows with AI and tech and the boom that it can have over our lifetimes. So I just think some people, you need to just start looking into, okay, I've got this much money coming in each month, 10% is going to my investments. You divvy it up amongst a couple, and then just keep doing that every month. It builds habit, it builds practice, it builds discipline, because the day when you're 50, 60, and you've just seen 30, 40 years of compounding of monthly payments, that's getting the same percentage growth even on the original. It's honestly immense, dude. Like, if you were to put $200 to $500 in a month now in your 20s, not saying that that's super doable, but you know what I'm saying. You start, by the time you're 50, 60, you'll have a couple million in that account if you just don't touch it. And it's supposed to teach discipline too, because when you put that money in, that's not like piggy bank to come pull out of, because that shit's time compounding. So you put 10 years in and you withdraw it, you can't get that 10 years of compounding back on 30 years. You'll only go back to 20 years, which is just, you want to start early because then you have exponential scale over the long term. The reason I said for kind of investing, the safest way I would start, just being a beginner, and before you start doing individual stocks and dividends and all that, just get your money and put it into the S&P 500. You've got a couple different index funds, which is just a huge amalgamation of a ton of big funds and companies in one, and you're investing in the whole as one big unit. So it's slower growth, but it's promise growth, because out of the top 500 companies, they're always the top 500, and they're always growing. So you grow with the rate of the S&P. Again, compounding over life is huge, because that little bit of money you put in now in your 20s it's growing like crazy. The thing with having your portfolio that way a little bit more diversified too is its risk is mitigated, which is why your returns aren't the highest, but your risk is mitigated. So with that being said, you've got money coming in and you get 10% going into your investments. Go 5% into the S&P and then 5% into whatever other growth fund or what you would like to do with that, whether it's crypto, whatever. So now you have that extra 90%. Well, now you're going to want to budget every single month exactly how much money is going to be spent on your gas, your groceries, and your living. Like, how much does it cost to live? And then what do you have left? What do you have left after your living and your investing? Say it's 5%, 10%. Well, that's money that you can go, again, put into your investments. Or every now and then it is actually okay to buy something for yourself. This doesn't mean frugal and be like a crazy couponer, but it does mean you watch your money now. You know what comes in each day and out, where is it going to, and why, and how much. And, you know, I originally paid $80 for this a month, and now it's $120. Most people won't clock that because it's always billing in, billing out, and they're just spending as it comes. They're never actually growing. They're stuck in that, you know, cycle of consumerism. But, you know, you have your investments now, and you've got a little bit of crypto, and you've got your little bit of stocks. What you can also do is set up your Roth, which you can only put like 7 or 8 grand in a year into that. But again, compounding, you start now, and it grows because if you're starting in your 20s, you know, most people don't start investing until their late 30s, early 40s, which is actually incredibly late, but it's just how the system was designed to screw them. But investing, like real investing, it means putting your money away, lock and key, and leaving it, and you let it grow over your life. Investing is not gambling. This whole prediction market bullshit, Kalshi, sports betting, DraftKings, Robin, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. You're inundated with it. It's all there to screw you and keep your money on a trickle. Like, you're basically bleeding slowly all the time, and it's designed perfectly, bro. It's to keep you trickled on that damn trickle until you're basically always just drowning, or, you know, coming up for air and you're back under because now the debt's hitting. And they're pushing all the new products and seasons and limited editions, and now you're buying that shit and always trying to keep up with the trends, which is also keeping you broke on top of your sports betting because they fried your brain's dopamine on TikTok, so you don't have this ability to wait long term. So they've got you in this loop you need to break out of. And what I want to get into now real brief is just, I know I said invest here, invest there. How do I do that? How do I do this? Well, I'll give you a brief little overview on just getting started with like a Charles Schwab or like any brokerage, but I use Charles Schwab, so it may be different for you. Is just open it. You go online. You can get an app, download, sign in. You're going to want to put in 50 to 100 a week starting just to build the habit and the mental muscle. Choose some index funds. Let the market work for you. Like, dude, you're not going to want to be in there and trying to do all this yourself, trying to figure out every little individual company and how much to put in. Just go and put it into the index fund. Start it off early and start your investing, because the most important thing is not how much, it's how early, when. It's not the money you put in, it's when you started. Life compounds. So when you start your account, it's going to ask you for your banking information, your routing number. You're just going to get that from your bank and put it in. You're going to go and do some security things. Sometimes it'll take a couple of days for them to verify your account. Then when your account's verified, you are in, you can deposit money from your bank, which will then take a couple of days to get deposited into the Charles Schwab. Once it's in your Charles Schwab, boom, go and search up the S&P 500. It'll show you the index fund, and then you can invest. That's how you're going to want to get started in that. You can also start a Roth IRA on your Charles Schwab account, on your brokerage app or whatever when you're signed in. So you can also contribute money there as well. So it kind of gives you freedom to do what you want with it. And then just go set up a simple budget tracker, which is like you write down your daily expenses and any incomes you make. So just have it total it out, whether it's this is how much you made and this is how much profit you have and this is how much you spent. Just so you have the 3 colors, red, green, white, whatever works for your brain. You see your money. And then you know your 10% is going out to your investments. Then you know your 80% is going to living expenses, and now that leaves you with 10% that you now can decide what to do with that is left with you. And if you don't have that 10%, say you ran over and you've had to take a little bit out, just look at what you spent last month and cut some things until you're at the place where you can swim. Don't just be treading all the time. This is just getting yourself out the hole first. And the biggest thing it starts with this is stop buying shit because it's like everyone else has it around you. Like, that's going to keep you behind forever, and it's literally miserable. I know because I've done that. Stuck in consumerism, everything's the new thing, the new brand, the new iPhone. It's just shit that's designed to keep you in this loop. And I just thought it was important to come on here and say at least getting your finances organized by tracking your days and months. Put 10% aside to your investments. Just make sure you're not taking on debt and buying things you don't need and money you don't have. Don't do that. Like, if you don't have a credit card, if you don't have money. Credit card is to build credit with money you already have. get you better loans and deals on your interest later in life on mortgages and cars. It's not just to go and load up on the new Cartier and the Gucci shit, bro. Like, that's lame as fuck, first off. And now you're back in a hole for what? Some leather goods that mean nothing? So now that you've got that set up, if you really want to start advancing and start following your career path, you can go and set up an LLC. You can file it in your state, probably $200 to $300 average filing fees, which is now going to be allowing you to be an entity that gets paid from a company, even though it's your company, so money goes in, you get paid. You can now purchase things through the company, you can write off things on your tax returns for business expenses or retroactive. Like, you can really start doing something for yourself in this life, and it's not as complicated. They just want to confuse you. It's like this: I give you $10,000, $8,000 went to your living, $1,000 went to your investments, and you're left with $1,000. Well, now that $1,000, why don't you go look at starting a business? Why don't you go look at taking some courses on marketing and selling yourself? You don't need to go waste money on a fucking degree. Go and start your company, and now you're earning money. You're going to learn how to file your own taxes. You're going to learn how to invest, which now you can write your taxes off and items for your business. You have 10% going into an index fund and your Roth every single month, and you're in your 20s, bro. Now you just wait. You just keep doing what you're doing, show up for yourself, and you just wait. You don't rush how much you're making. The thing that matters is you started at this day and time. Life will compound the rest for you. Next, let me think what would be important. We went over just managing your money, putting a budget together, looking at a physical in and out influx of your cash flow. Invest your 10%. 10% goes to you. 80% is probably going to cost to live, roughly, if you've got bills and all these other things. And now you're just going to let that money grow with time. You know, go and enjoy your day. Do something that you love doing, that brings you joy to do, and it's not like a headache and showing up in a fucking box in a cubicle every day. And let the money do the talking. Let the money do the growing. You don't have to be on your hands and knees back-breaking work all the time. You can just start letting your money grow while you sleep, and over time your financial know-how and your skills will go with you. And then you'll be able to grow and learn, and the snowball will be rolling. It'll be accumulating at that point, and then you'll basically be chilling. And time beats everything. Time beats how much money you put in, because you can't beat compounding. 30 years versus 20 years of compounding is ridiculous. 40 years, bro. If you have the patience to wait till your 60s, if you're in your 20s and you're hearing this, I'm telling you, do it. You use legal structures as LLCs to protect yourself and earn some money, and you just get going. You don't need to get there fast. You need to get there steadily. Time is on your side. When you're 50, you'll be fine. You don't need a rush to be in your 50s in your 20s. Right now, it's just acknowledge where you are and take the starting leap and know you're already ahead. With that being said, I hope this hits for some of you guys out there and maybe helps you get your finances in order. And yeah, I just wanted to get here and give some fucking boomer advice to the youngins, because I think it's crucial. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay and the chat. And yeah, have a great rest of your week. I will see you next Monday. Peace.